Okay, there seems to be some confusion about how to approach this problem or what's really happening in this problem. So here's the problem itself. 20% of, oops, I'm sorry about that, 20% N2O4 molecules dissociate in a sample of gas at 27 degrees and 760 torr pressure, and the equation is given. You need to find the density of the mixture at equilibrium. So the terms that appear to be confusing is, one is this term equilibrium. What does this mean? The second term that appears to be, or the second idea that appears to be confusing is, how does the density change at all, right? To understand that, let's look at what's happening. So you've got an N2O4 molecule, and that becomes 2 molecules of NO2. So let's say we start with 1 mole of N2O4. Okay? You're given the temperature and the pressure at which it exists. Using PV equal to nRT, you can compute its volume V1. Okay, since it's 1 mole of N2O4, you also know the mass. Let's call it M. Now what happens to the N2O4? This N2O4 becomes 2 NO2. So you had 1 mole of gas on the left hand side, yeah, clearly it's 1 N2O4, and now this has become 2. So what's happening now? Clearly the number of moles of gas is increasing from left to right. However, mass remains the same, right? Because according to a balanced equation, mass on the left side has to be equal to mass on the right hand side. Mass remains the same. The number of moles of gas, however, change. Now, if you apply this equation one more time, PV2, okay, equals nRT. Pressure is the same, or rather N2RT. Okay, now you can find what happens to N2, how many moles are formed if 20% of the N2O4 molecules dissociate. So which means that 0.2 moles of N2O4 dissociate and become 0.4 moles of NO2. So really, this is what you've got to account for. This increase in moles will show up as N2. Pressure is the same, temperature is the same, so clearly V2 is going to increase compared to V1. Okay? Mass is the same on both sides. Density is equal to the mass divided by the new volume that you've computed. Alright? You should be able to solve this question. Let me know if there's any trouble.